Okay, so in this lesson, we'll be looking at something called attribute binding, which is something we can do to bind dynamic values to regular HTML attributes, like, for example, the class attribute. And that means we can do things like conditionally style elements based on some condition. For this project, we'll be using attribute binding to add a live feedback effect like this one right here, where the helper text goes red as we get closer to the character limit for this input field. And we're going to achieve this by binding to the class attribute, so we can only add this red styling when a certain condition is true. So the first thing we need to do is make the template for the helper text, and then once we have that, we can add the dynamic class value to make it red. Now the fields I want to add this to are the username field, but also the bio field, because both of those inputs have got a max length associated with them. So let's start with the username one, and I'm going to make a paragraph tag up here with the class of hint. Now this class is going to be constant, always there, and I've already previously added it to the CSS file. It just positions the text to the upper right of the input field, and it makes the text a little bit smaller too. So this has got nothing to do with the attribute binding we'll be using in this lesson, all right? But inside this tag, I'm going to add a span tag now with some dynamic text content. And we already know how to do that using the x-text directive. And the text I want to output is the amount of characters that a user has left as they start typing into the input field. So we know from the input itself that the max length should be 15. So we can type 15 right here and then minus whatever the current length of the username is. And that gives us how many characters they have left to play with, right? So after we output this number, outside the span tag, we'll say characters remaining. So then the whole thing should say something like 10 characters remaining or something like that. All right, so I also want to do the same thing for the bio field. So what I'll do is copy this little bit of code, and then we want to scroll right down to the bio field and paste that in right here above the label. And this time for the bio, the max length is 100 characters. So all we need to do is update the x-text bit to be 100 minus the bio length this time. And remember, these fields, the username and the bio, they're both stored on the Alpine data object that were created in the previous lesson. So that's how we can get live access to them right here in the HTML to find out whatever their current length is, okay? Anyway, before we use attribute binding, let's just see if this works so far in the browser. So we can see this hint up at the top, and we can see this hint down here. Cool. And if I start typing into this by saying my name is Mario, we can see the number of characters remaining going down in real time. Awesome. So that's working. Now, if I come down here, the same thing happens. But what I'd like to do now is when we get down to the last few characters, like the last 4 characters up here, I would like to add a class to this dynamically using attribute binding so that we colorize it red. And the same for this one down here, the last 10 characters or something, we add that class to make it red in color, just as a warning to the user. Okay, so now that's all working, we can use some attribute binding to dynamically add a new class to these paragraph tags if the remaining characters get too low. For example, on this username one, the max length is 15 characters. So if a user starts typing and the length of the current value of the username gets to say over 10 characters, at that point we could add a conditional warning class to colorize the text red just to let a user know they're coming to the end of their character limit. So how do we do this? How do we use attribute binding to conditionally add that class? Well, first of all, attribute binding isn't just limited to the class attribute. You could bind to pretty much any normal HTML attribute, like the type attribute on an input field, or maybe the placeholder attributes. And all we do is we would use the x-bind directive on that element, like this input one right here, and then we'd add a colon, followed by whatever attribute we're binding to. For example, in this case, we could bind to the placeholder attributes. And now, because we used x-bind, the value of this attribute isn't static anymore, but instead it can be a JavaScript expression that returns a value or just a dynamic value itself. I could, for example, set this to be a property we define on the data object, and then the value of that property would be used as the placeholder value right here. Now, I don't want to do that right now. I'm going to delete all this. And instead, I want to bind to the class attribute on the paragraph tag. However, you're going to notice that we already have a class attribute on this with a static class added to it, which should be present all the time. And in this case, instead of binding directly to the class attribute that already exists, we can actually make an extra class attribute and bind to that. So let me just do this first of all, then I'll explain what's happening. So I'll use x-bind, then a colon, and then class. and we set that equal to something. Now, this second class attribute, which we bind to, is where we can now dynamically add classes to the elements. And the first class attribute, which we don't bind to, is for any permanent classes we want the element to have. And they're not based on any kind of interaction or anything, they're always there. So we want the hint class to be permanently on this element. So we keep it over here, and then over here on the right, where we do bind to the class, we can conditionally add other classes dynamically. Now, the way we do that is by setting it equal to an object, and then the keys of that object should be the classes we want to dynamically or conditionally add to the element. And the values of those keys should be an expression that evaluates to true or false. If it's true, then the class gets applied. If it's false, then it doesn't. So in our case, I want to add a class called warning, which is the key name, and that's going to be applied when the current length of the username that a user is typing into this field becomes greater than 10, because when the value gets to over 10 characters left, then I want to let the user know that they've only got a few more characters left to play with. So then, the key name is warning, and that's the class I want to add when this condition is met, all right? And now, that class is only going to get applied when that expression is true. All right, cool. So before we try this out, I'm going to copy this whole thing right here because I also want to add this class attribute binding to the other hint that we've got for the bio field down here somewhere. So we can come to that paragraph tag and we just want to paste in the whole thing. But this time we need to change the condition to the bio length instead of the username. And also because the max length of this field is 100, we don't need to apply the warning class until we reach over about 90 characters, okay? So now they should both work. And actually, just one more thing before we try this, there is a shorthand version of this x-bind directive, and that is just to use a colon. So whenever you see a colon like this on its own before an attribute, it's because we're binding to the attribute. Sometimes I like to be explicit and use the whole directive name just because then I can see at a glance where all the bindings are on the page. But this shorthand way is fine as well, and it works exactly the same. All right, so let's start typing into this input field over here. I'm going to say my name is Ma, and then watch when I type one more and it gets over 10 characters. Yep, it goes red now because we're conditionally adding that other class, that warning class. Now, if I inspect this, and we can see over here, the class is just hints, but watch this. When I type one more character, look over here. Yep, we get that warning class, which is why it goes red. We take that character off and it goes away. So the same should be true down here, but it should wait until we get to about 10 characters left. So keep on typing, keep on typing. All right, so now we can see as soon as we pass the 10 characters mark, we get that warning class again. Awesome.